Timeline of the worship of Set. Now, in pre-dynastic Kemet, before 3000 BCE, the people themselves were the Kemetic people of Upper Nile communities. These were desert edge clans known as the Naquata culture. Now, Set originates as a Netjer of the desert, storms, and foreign lands. That will be important in defining who he is. He is revered as a fierce protector and master of the harsh, unclaimed lands west and east of the Nile. Horus is tied to the fertile Lower Kemet, Set to the desert and the strength against the unknown. He's not an evil god at this time, he was a balancing force of these two lands. Now, after the unification of the two lands and the early dynastic period, 3100 to 2686 BCE, this is the time of Narmer, who has united the two lands for the first time ever, and he is considered to be the first Nsw-bity, an important term to know, and the unifier of Kemet as a whole. Now, Horus represents Lower Kemet, Set representing Upper Kemet, and they serve as twin symbols of kingship. Set represents power, expansion, and resilience in the desert. He is key for controlling Nubian and Asiatic trade routes. Now, by the Old Kingdom, and we're talking 2686 to 2181 BCE, this is the time of the pyramid pharaohs, where they enjoyed centralized priesthood, and the balance between Horus and Set is maintained. Both are protectors of Nsw-bity authority. Their duality is cosmic. Horus for the order within, Set for the force against outside threats. Kemet is stable and prosperous, so there's no demonization of Set at this time. Now, by the first intermediate period, we're talking 2181 to 2055 BCE, this is a time of regional rulers and priest kings. There is a political fracture. Thebes and Heraclius fight for dominance. Set starts to symbolically be tied to political disorder, and the mythology associates with that very well. Desert border towns keep its cult strong. Foreign mercenaries and traders increase Set's connection to outsiders. Again, this will be something that would stay with him throughout his deification. Now, by the Middle Kingdom, 2055 to 1650 BCE, we're seeing the 11th and 12th dynasty pharaohs who reestablish strong central control. The result of this is that Horus becomes the clear royal ideal. Set's mythology shifts. He is now a rival in the Asar drama, but still seen as a necessary force for balance. Kemet engages heavily with Nubia and Leviton, and Set's link to the foreign land strengthens even more. Now, by the second intermediate period, 1650 to 1550 BCE, the main players are the Hyksos rulers and the Theban Kemetic resistance. Now, the Hyksos elevate Set, linking him to their storm god Baal, and for native Kemet, Set now becomes the patron of occupiers in this collective memory. So again, this is a pivotal period for him. His association with foreign domination is really strongly seated at this period of time, and it would continue. Now, by the early New Kingdom, 1550 to 1290 BCE, we're talking about the 18th dynasty pharaohs, Ahmose I, Tutmose III, and Hatshepsut. Kemet drives the Hyksos out of the empire and expands into Nubia and Canaan. Set is honored at this time as warrior god for campaigns led into Asia. The balance between Horus and Set is still present in some royal ideology. Now, by the New Kingdom, 1290 to 1070 BCE, this is the time of Ramses from the 1st to the 6th, and the Eastern Delta nobility have the strong hand in controlling the kingdom. The Ramses side embraces Set as a royal protector. We see the emergence of names like Seti, meaning of Set, which show legitimacy. And this movement is used to rally Kemet against the Hittites, Libyans, and the Sea Peoples. Yet during this time, priestly narratives keep framing Set as Asar's murderer, which is a form of spiritual smear campaign, and this continues to grow directed at Set. Now, by the third intermediate period, 1070 to 664 BCE, this is the time of the Libyan dynasties, but also the Nubian Kushite kings. This is reflective of a fracture that has returned, and the priesthoods of Amun dominate theology. Set's cult is marginalized, and the demonization of Set really intensifies. In Upper Kemet, small temples still honor him for his desert protection, but overall, the mood towards Set has decidedly changed. By the late period, 664 to 332 BCE, this is the time of the Persian occupiers, and the national identity has been sharpened. Set's foreign labels start to solidify. Persians bring a new wave of occupation. Set by this time is framed as a traitor god, but his worship survives in remote shrines like in Ombos. Now, by the time of Ptolemy, when the Macedonian Greeks were ruling Kemet, we're talking 332 to roughly 30 BCE, the Greeks identified Set with Typhon, this chaos incarnate. His older, balanced image is nearly erased by public religion. He survives in magical and priestly secrecy. Now, by the Roman period, 30 BCE to the Common Era, Christianization really begins to take hold. All the old gods are demonized or synchronized. Set is fully cast by this time as the devil figure, losing all positive royal and protective aspects. He has fully been embraced as this representation of the Christian concept of Satan. And we would see even to modern times that argument is still strongly made. So Set, again, is a complex character who has a long history of worship and then demonization from this area of the world that would spread out and carry this legacy with him. If you have more that you want to add about this particular deity or other deities you'd like me to do a timeline on, please drop it in the comment section. And as always, I appreciate you like and subscribe.